It was a crisp, early morning at JFK Airport. The terminal was bustling with travelers, some rushing to their gates, others leisurely sipping coffee. Among them was Jamal, a 16-year-old black teen with big dreams and a warm heart. Jamal had never flown before, let alone in first class, and today was a special occasion. He was traveling to Los Angeles to receive an academic scholarship for a STEM program, a moment that was supposed to be filled with pride and excitement. Jamal clutched his boarding pass tightly, his heart racing as he approached the gate. His mom had worked hard to help him get here, saving every penny and encouraging him to pursue his dreams. What Jamal didn't know was that this flight would test his patience, his dignity, and his courage like never before. Before we jump into this powerful story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Stories like these remind us why standing up for kindness and respect matters so much. Stick around, because you won't believe how this ends. As Jamal stepped onto the plane, he was greeted by a polite flight attendant who directed him toward first class. The leather seats, the extra legroom, the sparkling water offered by the staff, it was all new to him. He found his seat by the window, 3A, and settled in, smiling as he gazed out at the runway. But not everyone was thrilled to see him there. At the front of the first-class cabin, Claire, a blonde flight attendant with a no-nonsense demeanor, glanced toward Jamal. Her sharp eyes narrowed as she noticed his casual clothing, a simple hoodie and sneakers. Something about him didn't sit right with her. As she moved down the aisle, offering drinks to other passengers, she stopped abruptly at Jamal's seat. "Excuse me," she said in a curt tone. "Are you sure you're in the right seat?" Jamal looked up, startled. "Yes, ma'am." 3A, he said, holding up his boarding pass. Claire raised an eyebrow but didn't bother to look at the ticket. "First class is for premium passengers," she said sharply. "You might want to double-check your ticket and head back to economy." The cabin grew quiet. Nearby passengers turned to watch, some whispering among themselves. Jamal's cheeks flushed with embarrassment. "This is my seat," he said, his voice steady but quiet. "I'm sure." Claire sighed dramatically, grabbing the boarding pass from his hand and glancing at it. She frowned. "Well, there must have been a mistake when you booked. Let me see if I can get you reseated in economy where you belong." Jamal felt his heart sink. He'd done nothing wrong, but now all eyes were on him. "Is there a problem here?" a deep voice interrupted. It was Captain Roberts, the pilot, who had been passing through the cabin on his way to the cockpit. His calm yet commanding presence immediately silenced the whispers. Claire straightened up, smiling nervously. "Oh, no problem, Captain. I'm just sorting out a seating issue." It seems this young man was mistakenly assigned to first class. Captain Roberts frowned. "Mistakenly?" He turned to Jamal. "Son, may I see your ticket?" Jamal handed it over, his hands trembling slightly. Captain Roberts examined it carefully, then looked back at Claire. "His ticket is perfectly valid," he said, his voice firm. "Jamal is exactly where he's supposed to be." Claire blinked, stunned. "But I just thought." "You thought wrong," Captain Roberts said sharply. He turned back to Jamal with a kind smile. "Congratulations on your scholarship, Jamal. We're proud to have you on this flight." Jamal's eyes widened in surprise. "Thank you, sir," he said softly. But Captain Roberts wasn't done. Turning back to Claire, he added, "We don't tolerate discrimination on this plane. I'll be speaking with your supervisor about this incident after the flight." The cabin fell silent again. A few passengers began clapping, and one man in a suit nodded approvingly at Jamal. Claire, now visibly flustered, mumbled something under her breath and quickly walked away. As the flight continued, Jamal tried to focus on the view outside the window, but his mind was racing. Why had she assumed he didn't belong? He replayed the moment in his head, feeling a mix of sadness and gratitude. When the plane landed in Los Angeles, Jamal was one of the first to disembark. But as he walked through the terminal, he noticed a group of people waiting at the gate. They were holding signs with his name on them, representatives from the scholarship program who had come to welcome him. One of the representatives, a woman in a navy suit, stepped forward and shook his hand. "We saw what happened on the plane," she said. "Someone recorded the incident and sent it to us. Your composure was remarkable." Jamal's eyes widened. "Someone recorded it?" "Yes," she said, smiling. "And it's already gone viral." By the time Jamal arrived at his scholarship ceremony, the video had taken the internet by storm. News outlets were covering it, praising Captain Roberts for standing up against discrimination and commending Jamal for his grace under pressure. The airline issued a public apology, and Claire was reassigned to a different position. Meanwhile, Jamal's story became a symbol of perseverance and respect. At the ceremony, Jamal took the stage to accept his award. As he looked out at the audience, he felt a wave of gratitude. Not just for the scholarship, but for the strangers who had supported him and for the lesson he'd learned: no matter how someone treats you, it's your response that defines your character. And that's the power of standing tall in the face of injustice. If this story inspired you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more impactful stories. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that kindness and courage can change the world.